So for the last couple of weeks I've been working on making this massive 12mm thick chopping knife just by grinding it away using the stock removal method, and it's been going pretty well, but it's been taking absolutely ages, and I've got it up to the point where I've finished grinding it and I was normalising it to heat treat it, but my electric foundry broke and the coils are burned out, and I've got to wait for some new coils to arrive from China, which is going to take a couple weeks. So in the meantime I'm going to see if I can make a quick knife. Since this knife is taking ages, it's taking countless hours just to grind it, then I've got to do loads of finishing on it. I'm going to see if I can do the opposite and see how quickly I can make a knife. And I'm going to try and make a file knife by the stock removal method in under an hour. This knife's not going to be pretty, and the reason I'm using a file is because it's already hardened, so I don't have to heat treat it, so this is going to be a lot quicker to make. And we're just going to see how quickly I can make it and see how well it goes. It's taken me about 50 minutes to get up to this point because the bevel grinding took a long time. Would have been nice if I could have done that a bit quicker, but now it's time to make the handle. Before attaching the handle, I tempered the knife for about 2 hours at 250 degrees Celsius. This step isn't necessarily necessary, it just lowers the hardness slightly and makes the blade less prone to chipping and cracking. I didn't count the tempering time in the final time to make the blade because I wasn't actually doing anything, it was just sitting in an oven. Here I tried to soften and anneal parts of the handle where I wanted to drill holes so that I could attach the scales onto the handle, and I did this using a blowtorch. I made sure that the blade didn't actually heat up, it was just the handle that I was annealing. Unfortunately this didn't actually work in the end, even though I heated the whole thing up so that it turned blue, the steel was still too tough to drill through. Just shows how hard the steel is and how shit my drill bits are. Instead of using pins to attach it as originally planned, I just used some 5-minute epoxy, and this is going to be nowhere near as strong, but it should still do. And again, I didn't count the drying time of the glue in the final time that it took to build the knife. So this is the finished knife, and overall it took an hour and 40 minutes, or about 100 minutes, just underneath 100 minutes to make the knife. That's not including time for tempering the knife and time for waiting for glue to dry, since I wasn't actually making the knife during that. I did want to try and make this knife in under 60 minutes, and I think I could still do that if I wasn't worried about overheating the blade, or if I had a better belt grinder. Maybe I need to make a better belt grinder, and I do have some plans that I was thinking of. There's also a lot more that I would do to this knife. I want to make a sheath for it, and I also want to polish the blade up a bit more. At the moment the surface finish is pretty rubbish, but still, in 100 minutes of work, I'm still pretty impressed with how well this knife came out, and it's one of my favourites. Make sure you subscribe so that you can see the next video where I make this 10mm thick chopping knife.